Alright, let me talk to you. Do you want to watch somebody play through an entire year of Stardew Valley Expanded? More importantly, do you want to watch somebody make as much progress as possible during that first year? Well, if you do, then this might not be the video for you. But if you want to see someone dabble in tomfoolery and engage in a bit of hijinks, then this might just be the video you've been waiting for. I'll keep this intro as short as possible. As well as the Stardew Valley Expanded mod, I am using 3 other mods in the spirit of keeping things fresh. First, we have the Shop Overhaul mod. Basically, this adds new items to the shops in Pelican Town. For example, Robin now sells kegs and preserve jars. Clint sells iridium bars and battery packs, and Marnie sells artisan goods such as milk and eggs. Next, we have the Better Mixed Seeds mod. This one is pretty straightforward. It allows any crop to grow from mixed seeds. So if we plant them in spring, then we can get crops like strawberries, ancient fruit, and any new crops added with the expanded mod. Finally, we've got the Joja clearance bin. This mod allows us to purchase items from the clearance bin that has been added to Joja Mart. The items that are sold here are completely random, so there's no telling what we're going to get on any given day. In terms of our goals, we've got 3. Number 1, repair the community centre. Number 2, earn a total of 1 million gold. And number 3, fully upgrade all of our tools. Will I be able to achieve all of these goals by the end of the first year? I sure hope so, because these are really easy goals, so if we can't complete them, then that means I'm just terrible at this game. Alright, that's enough dilly-dallying. Let's get started. Before the first day officially begins, I would like to show you all my outfit. Now you're probably saying to yourself, wow, that is delightfully formal. And that is very true. I dress this way because I'm always ready for business. Funny business. I spend some time clearing out space on the farm for any crops we will be planting today, then I make a chest and put most of the items in our inventory into it. I head to the saloon and buy a coffee, then go and meet Sophia, one of the new Stardew Valley Expanded villagers. I head into the big forest area known as West Cindersap Forest. For the rest of this playthrough, I'll be calling it the Big Forest. I find multiple ancient sword artifacts as well as a forest sword. The forest sword is a great find. It'll help us out quite a bit when we head into the mines. At the top left of the big forest, I find a maple syrup. I do not know who this belongs to, but it's mine now. Finders keepers, you snooze you lose, yada yada yada. I head back to my farm, collect my 15 parsnip seeds and plant them along with all of the mixed seeds we have just before the day ends. I also throw quite a few of the items we collected into the shipping bin. On the morning of day 2, we start the unfortunate process of having to water our crops. I already really want to get sprinklers. I head into town and take a look at the help wanted board. Sophia is looking for a sardine, so we will happily oblige her. I take a look at the new items Pia is selling. Basic sprinklers, scarecrows, coffee beans, ancient seeds, spring seeds. So many options. In the end, I decide to buy 50 mixed seeds. Next on the agenda is a trip to the museum to donate the ancient sword I found yesterday and collect a 250 gold reward for doing this. We visit Willie to collect our fishing rod. It feels weird not calling him King William, but that was a different playthrough. We need to look towards the future and keep things fresh. I take a look at Willie's shop and he's selling pretty much what you would expect him to sell. Dishes that increase your fishing level, beach forage, and items that you can get from crab pots. I spend a bit of time fishing at the beach to catch a sardine for Sophia. With that out of the way, I head to the Blue Moon Vineyard and give the sardine to Sophia. I receive 120 gold for this, putting us at a nice even 1000 gold. Completing her quest also gave us enough friendship points to view her first cutscene. She gives us a quality sprinkler in this cutscene. For free, I might add. This immediately establishes Sophia as my favourite new villager. Back on our farm, I get to work on clearing out some more space for the new seeds we bought today. It takes a while and I ate 3 or 4 different pieces of spring forage, but we do manage to get all of our mixed seeds planted and watered. I decide to spend the rest of the day taking a nice long walk through the big forest. It turns out there is a door behind the spot where we found the maple syrup yesterday. I think we did actually steal someone's maple syrup, so that might be an issue in the future. It's raining on day 3, so we don't have to water our seeds, which is very nice. I buy the training rod from Willie and spend a while fishing at the beach. I take a quick break to sell the fish I caught, then I head to Piers to sell my forage. but his shop is closed because it's Wednesday. I have spent almost 600 hours playing this game. How do I keep making this mistake? I return to the beach where I spend the rest of the day fishing. We could have tried to catch catfish because it was raining, but I wanted to enjoy my fishing experience for a while before we start going for the more difficult fish. Also, we got a diamond and a treasure chest, which gave a nice boost to our gold. On day 4, it's back to watering our seeds. Once again, I really want to get sprinklers. Like, I cannot emphasize this enough. I need sprinklers. I'm not built for this. The better mixed seeds mod is definitely working though, because I'm seeing quite a few crops that I don't recognize. I decide to buy the backpack upgrade and pears for 2000 gold, then I buy the seeds for spring crops as well as 36 mixed seeds. I honestly don't know if the crops they produce are going to sell for a lot of gold, but I get really excited seeing all of the new crops pop up when I plant the mixed seeds, so either way I'm happy. I return to our farm and chop down some trees, then head to the area with a dilapidated shed. I clear away most of the fibre that has taken over the area, then I talk to Olivia for the first time. I don't know why, but she looks really familiar for some reason. That's going to bother me for a while. I give a dandelion to Sophia as a way of saying thank you for the sprinkler she gave us, then I head into the forest and... Nope, get that video off the screen. This is a new playthrough, alright, we need to keep things fresh. The big forest has officially become my new happy place. I do not know why, but I immediately feel relaxed as soon as I go in here. I enter an old farmhouse and find an ancient doll on the floor that we can donate to the museum. Full disclosure, I played Stardew Valley Expanded around a year ago, I believe, so I know who lives in this house. I won't spoil it though, just in case anyone doesn't know and wants to wait until we are introduced to them to find out. Also, at least one big update was released for this mod during the time I didn't play it, so there'll definitely be quite a few new things for me to discover. On the morning of day 5, it is time to adopt a dog. I decide to name it after the greatest professional wrestler of all time, Hornswoggle. Our parsnips are ready, so I harvest them before watering the remaining crops. I head into town and watch the cutscene where Lewis shows us the community centre and give a gift to Linus. I decide to check out the Adventurers Guild, and Marlon is selling quite a few really interesting items. Slime eggs, the iridium band and some artifacts. I spend the rest of the day in the mines. It goes pretty well and I manage to get to floor 18 before I pass out. Day 6 of course begins with the watering of our crops. I think I'm going to stop saying that from now on. Not just to save time, but also because I get more and more upset every time I watch how much time I spend watering crops every morning. I do have some good news though. I finally made a scarecrow. But one isn't enough. I need 2. I chop down some trees to get more wood, make another scarecrow and place both of them down. I have decided to call these 2 scarecrows Jay and Mark. As in one is called Jay and the other is called Mark. I didn't just call both, like they're not, I plant the seeds I bought on day 4, which leads to me becoming exhausted. I end up eating a field snack and the forage I was saving, which I am not happy about at all. With our crops watered, I head into town and accept a quest to bring 20 copper ore to Clint. I spend the rest of the day in the mines where I make it to floor 19. A piece of kale and a tulip are ready for harvest on day 7. I know this isn't a lot, but it's the little things in life that matter the most. I give a 4-leaf clover to Sophia, to which she responds with, "Can I help you?" Bit rude. Willie wants a catfish, so I accept the quest even though it's unlikely that we'll be able to get one in time. Then I made a mistake. I accidentally gave Alex and Pamela a quartz instead of an earth crystal. They were not very pleased with me. I did sort of make up for this though because I gave an amethyst to Abigail. Clint is next up on our list of gift recipients. I really want to stay on top of our friendships, so I'm going to go out of my way to talk to as many villagers and give as many gifts as I can every single day. I head to the community center and read the scroll. It reminds me of the script for my 100 days videos. Complete mumbo jumbo that eventually somehow makes sense. I spend the rest of the day in the mines where I finally make it past floor 20. I leave the mines just before 2 AM to throw some copper ore into the furnaces I set up there. Some more crops are ready for harvest on day 8, which is always nice to see. I take the items I have for the community center and the museum out of a chest and head to the wizard's tower to learn how to read the scroll in the community center. Then it's off to the community center to donate everything we have, followed by a trip to the museum to do the same thing there. We receive an ancient seed, the recipe for ancient seeds, and 9 cauliflower seeds as rewards. Then it's off to the beach to do a bit of fishing. You may be wondering why I'm still using the training rod on day 8. That is because I accidentally threw my fishing rod into the trash on day 2, so we're stuck with the training rod until Willie's shop opens up tomorrow. It's off to the mines at the end of the day where we managed to reach level 25. I start day 9 by planting our cauliflower seeds and ancient fruit seeds after harvesting the crops that have grown. I throw these crops into the shipping bin, then chop down some trees to clear out some more space. We have been dilly-dallying for too long. Pretty soon we're going to plant even more seeds and really improve our mixed seed empire. I head to Pierre's shop where I talk to Lewis to complete a quest he gave us to defeat 4 slimes and talk to everybody else in the shop. I donate a couple of items to the community center, which includes the final spring forage item we needed to complete the spring forage bundle. I decide to take a leisurely stroll around the big forest for most of the day, collecting all of the forage I come across. There are 2 benefits to doing this. The first is a lot of the villagers like dandelions and daffodils, so they make good presents at the start of the game. The second reason is because I feel a deep and profound sense of belonging when I enter the big forest. It feels like home to me. Back on my farm, I am faced with the consequences of not watering my crops this morning. That consequence being, I cannot tell the difference between the ones I have watered and the ones I have not watered. I make a few torches to brighten up the place, which slightly helps, but lesson learned. Don't wait until nighttime to water your crops. Day 10 is a strawberry harvest day. I mean, I only harvested 5 strawberries, but it's something. I considered not showing this next event, but I think it just proves that the whole scallywag thing isn't a joke, alright? I am a bit lackadaisical at times. Once again, I forgot that Pierre's is closed on Wednesdays. With a heavy heart, I walk all the way back to my farm to throw my crops and forage items into my shipping bin, then I head to Willie's shop and buy the bamboo fishing rod. I do some fishing at the beach, then head up to the mountain lake to catch the fish that you can only catch in spring. I take a quick detour to the river beside Penny's home to catch a bream, then it's back to the mountain lake for the rest of the day. I head to Clint's on day 11 and ask him to upgrade my pickaxe, which locks us out of the mines for 2 days. A cutscene plays where we spend some time with Dusty the dog. The addition of Dusty might be my favourite thing about the Stardew Valley Expanded mod so far. I give a gift to Linus, then spend the rest of the day at the mountain lake. I want to make sure we catch all of the fish we can in spring, and this includes the legend fish. So we need to work on increasing our fishing level as much as we can. Day 12 is a rainy day, which is truly a sight for sore eyes. Also, I cannot express just how excited I get every single time our mixed seeds start growing and I see all of the different crops pop up. I head to Evelyn's house and give gifts to the family. At this point I might stop mentioning giving gifts to the villagers, but rest assured, I will not forget about any of them. I pay a visit to Sophia's house to take a look at the items she sells. The aged Blue Moon wine costs 28,000 gold, which means that at some point I'm going to buy 100 bottles of these and drink all of them for no reason. The rest of the day is spent fishing with a focus on catfish, shad and eels. The Egg Festival takes place on day 13. This is the part where a lot of people would buy a ton of strawberry seeds, but we don't follow the meta here. Also, we can't follow the meta because we just don't have enough gold right now, but look, it sounds better if I say I'm not following the meta, you know, it makes it seem like I'm standing out. Okay, look, move on, not important. The egg hunt begins and I immediately walk into a chair, then I walk into Olivia and Victor. That was not a good start. I get a bit distracted near the end, but I manage to collect the 9 eggs just in time, which means we have won the egg hunt. For this, we are rewarded with a straw hat. I feel complete when I put on the straw hat. My chakras have truly been unblocked. I really hope I'm pronouncing that word correctly. Day 14 is a big harvest day. 3 of the crops I collected are completely new to me. One of them is called salal berries and gives you 70 energy when you eat it. This will be very handy when we're going through the mines. I head to Pierre's and sell my crops. It is at this point that I realize the Joja veggie is worth over 1100 gold. That makes me happy. I head to the mountain area where Lewis tells us that one of the villagers, Susan, has been separated from the rest of the town because there's a big boulder in the way. If it's the same as vanilla Stardew Valley, then the boulder should be removed around the 3rd day of summer and we'll be able to meet Susan. I head to the mines and collect 5 copper bars from my chest, collect my copper pickaxe from Clint and ask him to upgrade my watering can. Also, it turns out that Leah loves salal berries, but that isn't very important because we're a whole different person now and we will not be romancing Leah in this playthrough. I finally check out the clearance bin in Joja Mart. I don't buy anything, but I can definitely see how it could be useful if we're missing certain crops in the future. I buy a salad and 2 coffees in the saloon, drink a coffee, then head into the mines. Our salal berries, coffee and copper pickaxe make it a lot easier and we manage to get down to level 35 before the day ends. I've also been making sure that I keep my furnaces working away while we're in the mines. Andy, who is one of the new villagers in the Stardew Valley Expanded mod, visits us on day 15. He lets us know that the crows have been eating his crops. Thank you for the heads up, Andrew. You know what? I think this could be the start of a beautiful new friendship. Yeah, Andy sent us 3 strawberry seeds in the mail. He is officially my best friend now. The good news train keeps on rolling as several crops are ready for harvest. Among these crops are 6 Joja veggies and a few more salal berries. I really do apologize if I'm pronouncing salal wrong, by the way. The wizard is looking for a catfish. Thankfully, we just need to bring him a catfish. We don't actually have to catch a new one for this quest. I sell most of my crops to Pierre, but I keep 3 of the Joja veggies. I have big plans for these 3 vegetables. I head to Robin's and buy 4 kegs and 2 preserve jars. Please do keep in mind that we can only do this because we have the shop overhaul mod installed. You can't buy these from Robin in vanilla Stardew Valley. It's off to the mines for the rest of the day where we make it down to the frozen layer. I set up my kegs and preserve jars on day 16. I throw my 3 Joja veggies into the kegs along with 5 coffee beans and I throw a couple of strawberries into the preserve jars. I head to Pierre's where I buy 75 mixed seeds, then I give a catfish to the wizard to complete his quest. Next I watch a cutscene where Sophia and Scarlet have a little conversation. After Scarlet leaves, Sophia asks me if I heard anything that they were talking about. Technically, my farmer wasn't there for the start of the conversation and I was probably wearing headphones when I did walk by, so I'm going to say that I didn't hear anything. I collect my watering can from Clint, then I buy the fiberglass rod from Willie. I spend the rest of the day fishing at the Shearwater Bridge. The fish here are a bit of a step up from the fish we've caught so far, but we are more than ready to deal with them. And besides, Andy loves butterfish and Sophia loves puppyfish. Both of those fish can only be caught here, so we need to get used to fishing here. One of the biggest benefits of the Better Mixed Seeds mod reveals itself on day 17. We pretty much have easy access to coffee thanks to the coffee beans that have grown. I was on my way to donate items to the community centre when I saw that Shane was looking for a frozen tear. He was walking past me as I accepted the quest, so I decided to give him the one I had in my inventory. I donate the items I have on me to the community centre, making good progress on the fishing bundles and the boiler room bundles. We received 20 speed grow for completing the spring crops bundle, so I head back to my farm and sprinkle it on some of my crops. I head to Clint's and ask him to upgrade my axe. I've seen a few big logs around the place, so I want to break those and see if I can unlock any new areas for doing that. The clearance bin is selling mixed seeds for 1 gold each, so I buy all 15 of them, then I head to the mines where I make it to level 67 before I pass out. We get the good news combo on day 18 as it is a rainy day and more of our crops are ready for harvest. After that, I watch a cutscene with Olivia and Victor. Why does Olivia look so familiar? This is really starting to annoy me. Her earrings are really cool though, I have to say that. I know I said I wouldn't be talking about giving gifts anymore, but there is too much footage of me giving gifts today, so here you go. It's off to the mines for the rest of the day where we managed to make it down to level 80. We're making good progress thanks to the berries, giving us 70 energy every time we eat one. The harvest is bountiful on day 19, which is good. Our coffee is ready, which is great, and our strawberry jelly is also ready, which is marvellous. I head to the community centre to donate some more items, and I donate some items to the museum before collecting my axe from Clint. I buy a beer at the saloon because Shane's birthday is coming up, then I head into the big forest and find Jazz. She got lost in there, so we bring her back to Marnie. At the travelling cart, I decide to buy a coconut because I don't know how long it's going to take before we get to Calico Desert. I go to break the log blocking the entrance to the secret woods, but it turns out our copper axe isn't strong enough to break it. I promise I'm not terrible at this game. That was just a bit of a whimsical moment on my part. I did that on purpose. I totally knew that we wouldn't be able to break the log. As is tradition, it's back to the mines for the rest of the day. I collect the fire quartz and some gold ore on level 82, which is fantastic. All we need to complete the boiler room in the community center is a fire quartz and a gold bar. I continue making my way through the mines, barely making it to floor 85 before the day ends. We reach level 5 in mining, so I choose the Geologist perk, which gives us a chance to get 2 of any gems we find. I collect 2 Joja veggie juices and 1 kale juice on day 20. I was certain that I put 3 Joja veggies into the keg, so I have no idea where that other Joja veggie went. Anyhoomst, I sell most of my crops and the juices to Pierre, which brings us up to over 9,000 gold. I buy 4 quality sprinklers, give Shane a little present for his birthday, and hit the jackpot with the clearance bin. Strawberry seeds are being sold for 1 gold each, so I buy all 10 of them. I donate a fire quartz and a gold bar to the community center, completing the boiler room. I head to the Adventurers Guild and officially join the Adventurers Guild. That can't be right. Did I make a typo on the script? No, I did not. Okay, Marlin's shop is called the Adventurers Guild, and the group he's part of is also called the Adventurers Guild. Well, if it's not broken, then don't fix it, I suppose. I like that mentality. I collect 5 iron bars from my chest in the mines, crack open some Omni Geodes at Clint's, ask him to upgrade my axe, and donate some items to the museum. Back on the farm, I place the quality sprinklers we bought and plant all of our seeds. I donate a coconut to the community center, then to end the day, I head to the mountain lake to do some fishing. Also, the Junimos repaired the minecart during the night and we reached level 5 in farming. Demetrius visits us on day 21. As always, I decide to go for the fruit bats over the mushrooms. A little bit of a kerfuffle is occurring in Pelican Town as Andy has just been told about new regulations being introduced in the town. These regulations will result in him losing more money than he already is. Everybody in the immediate vicinity is flabbergasted when Andy starts to yell. I do not like watching this. Andy isn't just my neighbour, he's my friend. I will find some way to cheer him up in the future. We watch another cutscene after this. This one features Leah. She has been growing green beans in the community garden. She also kindly gives us one of these, which is very nice of her. Sebastian wants a sunfish for, alrighty then. I sell some crops to Pierre to get a bit of gold, then I donate a good few items to the museum and receive a starfruit seed as a reward. We bump into the wizard in the big forest. I hope you're all ready for some lore about the whole magical aspect of Pelican Town. By moving to Pelican Town, the wizard also made a pledge to defend its citizens. To do this, he has set up a barrier around the town to keep all of the monsters out. A witch by the name of Camilla? Look, I think it's common knowledge now that I mispronounce things quite a bit, so let's just call her Camilla and get it over with. If I mispronounce it, please let me know and correct me on that one, please. A witch by the name of Camilla lives in Castle Village, and the barrier she has set up there is the largest magical barrier in the world. That is all very interesting stuff, but you know what's even more interesting? Me going to the mines for the rest of the day and making it down to floor 95 at 1:50 AM. We need 5 gold star parsnips for the community center, so on day 22 I head into Pierre's and buy 50 parsnip seeds. I head to Clint's and collect my axe, chop down the 2 big logs in front of Grandpa's old shed and take a look inside. It isn't in the best state, but I'm sure we'll find some way to fix it up and make it look absolutely sterling at some point in the future. I break the log that blocks the way to the secret woods for real this time and head inside. I was caught completely off guard when I saw that the entire secret woods had been changed. I spent some time walking around and collecting hardwood, then I spent some time fishing so we can catch the wood skip and the grass carp. I head into the big forest and chop down a log at the top of the area, but it turns out it just leads to the secret woods, which I suppose is still a nice little discovery. On day 23, I make my way through the mines and collect the star drop on floor 100. I keep the momentum going and make it to level 106, then I pass out. The bad news is, something not that chill happened today. I accidentally threw 50 gold ore into my shipping bin. The flower dance takes place on day 24. Unfortunately, I didn't have enough gold to buy the rare crow, which sucks, but I was able to buy the tub of flowers recipe. And then it was decision time. Shane, Sophia and Olivia are willing to dance with us. I would love it if we could dance with all 3 of them, but alas we can only choose one. I was feeling very overwhelmed at this point and I could feel my right leg begin to bounce up and down nervously. This feeling of uncertainty grew stronger as I talked to Olivia. I just realized, I just figured it out. I know who she reminds me of. It's Snow White from The Wolf Among Us. I knew she looked familiar. Okay, I've gone completely off script here, by the way. I'm supposed to be talking about how I stood beside Leah and Elliot to harness the knowledge of my previous farmer, but that, look, not important. Olivia looks so much like Snow White. Alright, okay, back on track. Let's get back on track. I decided to dance with Sophia when I talked to her and she said she was only here for the cake. That resonated with me. Snow White, huh? How about that? That resonated with me, as there have been many times when I've gone to an event simply to feast upon the complimentary cake they provided. We also reached level 6 in farming, which means we can now start crafting quality sprinklers instead of buying them from Pier. On day 25, I make a beeline for the mines. I spend almost the entire day in there, reaching the bottom floor at around 8:30 PM. A beautiful sight awaits me when I exit the mines, as some fresh gold bars and refined quartz are ready for collection. I craft 9 quality sprinklers and head back to my farm where I place them down. I will admit that I placed them a bit haphazardly, but that is okay. We can move them around in summer if we need to. Snow White. The best way to describe how I'm feeling right now is, imagine you're playing Call of Duty and someone throws a flashbang at you and you don't have tactical mask equipped. I am stunned. I ended up going back to... okay, I want to romance her now. I want to give her the bouquet and marry her, but okay. I ended up going back to the mines and making another 4 quality sprinklers, which I place on my farm. Mayor Lewis visits us on day 26. He tells us that Pierre and Sophia had a lot of things in their shipping bin this morning. That's crazy, Lewis, but I don't remember asking. Lewis then tells us he is... No, I'm sorry, that was very rude of me, I'm sorry. I take it back. Lewis then tells us he is very happy with the progress we have been making here on the honorary Oos farm. Thank you, Lewis. I donate a few items to the museum, then I head to Peary the Platypus and sell my crops and forage items. Sophia isn't doing too well today, unfortunately. We can say one of two things to her. We can either ask how she is doing, or we can demand that she tells us why she was in the hospital. Yeah, there's no way I can pick that second option. We can then ask Sophia if she would like to either get food or pet Dusty the dog with us. This is the most difficult choice I have ever had to make. I spent almost a full minute trying to decide. In the end, I closed my eyes and clicked randomly, which resulted in us going to the saloon for some food. When Sophia ordered her food, she said please. I cannot stress how much I love it when people do this. Sophia and Andy are both my best friends now. Gus then told us that the food is on the house, so he can be our best friend too, the more the merrier, I suppose. I donate 5 gold quality parsnips and a purple mushroom to the community centre, purchase a rear seat at the travelling cart and pay a visit to Leah. She was trying to figure out how she can sell the art pieces she makes, so I suggested that she sells her art online. Up next is a conversation with Jodie, Caroline and Olivia. The conversation turns to the topic of vineyards, and Olivia asks us if we've considered making wine. Well, have I got news for you, Snow White? I'm already making wine. Olivia is very happy to hear this and says she'll talk to Lewis about buying several bottles of the wine we ship. Snow White, I can't get over this. Stardew Valley and The Wolf Among Us are my 2 favourite games. This is so cool. Anyway, I collect some fruit from my bat cave and donate a good few items to the community centre. We get a charcoal kin for completing the construction bundle. That is neat. I decide to spend the rest of the day fishing in the mines. Day 27 begins with a visit to the museum so we can donate some of the items we have. I crack open some geodes in Clint's shop, donate all of them except the fairy stone, crack open the rest of my geodes and donate the final few items we receive. The reason why I kept the fairy stone is because I want to put it in a crystallarium when we get one. As the sun sets on the peaceful town of Pelican, I go for a nice long walk in the big forest. I pass out in the secret woods at 2 AM. We reached level 5 in foraging, so I chose the Gatherer perk, which gives us a chance to receive 2 of any forage items we pick up. Day 28 is the final day of spring, and it is also a big harvest day for us. I am especially interested in seeing how much the Joja berry sells for after the Joja veggies sold for over 1,000 gold each. I head to Piers and sell every crop besides our salal berries, earning around 13,000 gold. It looks like Joja berries sell for around 700 gold each, which is very nice. I decide to buy 5 of each spring crop seed just in case we've made a happy little accident and have forgotten one of them. I head to Willie's and buy a trap bobber and a fish stew, which increases our fishing level by 3. I leave his shop, then I turn around and go right back inside to buy the iridium rod. I forgot you can only equip things like the trap bobber to the iridium rod. I head to the travelling cart and buy a winter root, then I bump into Sophia. She wasn't very happy. I collect Robin's axe, then I head into Sophia's house. I don't want to barge into her bedroom, so instead I knock on her door. That's my way of saying, "Hello, I'm here now." She initially wants us to leave, but then she asks us to stay with her. It turns out she's been through some difficult times, but despite that, she's doing her best to stay strong and be around the people she loves. Her character is so well written, I'm about to fall in love with a video game character, I can't believe it. Next, it is time for us to prove ourselves. I eat my fish stew and stand at the edge of the mountain lake. With passion in my heart and adrenaline in my soul, I cast my rod into the river. For a while we catch carps, bullheads and frogs, but these are not important. They are not our target. Our target is the legend. I can feel the fear, the nerves, the doubt all creeping into my body, but I refuse to let them take over. Here I stand, unbroken and unfazed. And then it happens. I hook the legend fish. My hands began to shake as I knew that my toughest battle yet had just begun. That's not a joke, by the way. My hands genuinely started to shake during this. I knew that I couldn't just give 100% here. I have to give 101%. I need to go beyond my capabilities as a human being and achieve something I should not be able to achieve. I need to defeat an opponent I should not be able to defeat. And against all odds, I do exactly that. I catch the legend fish. I head home and toss the legend into my shipping bin along with all of the fish I've kept up to this point, along with some crops and forage items. I head to the saloon and spend the final night of spring with the villagers of Pelican Town. I also buy 5 Grampleton orange chickens before heading home and going to sleep. Day 29, the first day of summer. Alright, no messing around, let's get down to business. We took it easy during spring, we eased into this playthrough and we didn't get as much done as we could have. And that is, quite frankly, probably for the better, to be honest. I feel like we would get completely overwhelmed if we went all in from the very start because of how much content there is in Stardew Valley Expanded. Look, the point I'm trying to make is we're just here to have fun. We're here to have a bit of a giggle and have a jolly experience. Anyway, the wizard has a little quest for us. He wants us to defeat a ghost. These help wanted quests are our best friend right now. They're really making sure we don't fall behind on becoming good friends with the villagers. I buy 5 of each summer crop in pears and sell our 1 ancient fruit. Back on our farm, I spent some time clearing out space for the new crops we bought before heading to Robin's and asking her to build a silo on our farm. I buy 4 iridium sprinklers and pears along with 10 sunflower seeds and 100 mixed seeds. I managed to get most of our seeds planted before the end of the day, and the crop fairy pays us a visit during the night. I start day 30 by planting around 50 more of our mixed seeds. I won't lie, I sort of regret picking the forest farm for 2 reasons. Reason number 1, there's not as much space to plant crops here compared to the original farm. And reason number 2, this farm is going to be a nightmare for me to decorate. I'm going to have to come up with a game plan and drastically change the way I operate. Some of our melons and poppies are ready for harvest thanks to the crop fairy, so we harvest those, then head to the community centre to donate some items. I spend the rest of the day fishing at the beach. Susan visits us for the first time on day 31.
It's not Susan, it's Shushan.
If you don't get that reference, I would highly recommend watching the Johnny English movies. Brilliant series of movies. And then it finally happens. We get a letter from Mayor Lewis asking us to find his purple shorts and give them to him. I felt delightfully devilish when I read this letter. I have devious intentions when it comes to his purple shorts. Okay, that sounded a lot weird. And okay, it's not weird. Okay, you'll see what I mean. Okay, let's just move on very quickly. Okay. We take a trip to the big forest to do some foraging, then it's off to Marnie's where we collect Lewis's purple shorts. I very stealthily make my way past Lewis and Marnie. The last thing I want is for them to see that I'm in possession of Lewis's underwear. Lewis has gained the ability to teleport as a cutscene with himself and Morris plays when I leave Marnie's. Morris and Lewis seem to be having a lover's quarrel. I'll be honest, I don't actually know what they were talking about because I was too busy thinking of what I could do with Lewis's shorts. Okay, again, I know how that sounds. I'm probably going to put them on display at some point, alright? That's my big plan. Alright, let's get back. Okay, look, let's just focus on what we're... It's off to the community center to complete the You know what? I'm leaving all of that in. Alright, this is going to be a learning experience for me. In about 3 months' time, I'll look back on this video, I'll watch it, and I'll say to myself, what was I thinking? Just the entire time, what on earth was I thinking? I'm so glad I'm much better at making videos now. I've learned from my past mistakes. So, there you go. It's off to the community center to complete the exotic foraging and the summer foraging bundles. Robin pays us a visit later in the day and brings us to Grandpa's old shed. It turns out she can repair it. We just have to pay her a visit later on to see what materials she needs to do this. I sell some Joja berries to Pierre on day 32, then it's straight off to Robin's. She tells us that all she needs to repair the shed is 150 hardwood, 600 stone, 50 iron bars and 20 battery packs. Now, getting those items for other people might be difficult, but for us it's going to be light work. Alright, we are professional Stardew Valley athletes here. The rest of day 32 as well as days 33 and 34 are spent collecting iron ore, stone and coal in the mines, collecting hardwood and fishing. We also have fantastic luck at the travelling cart as we buy winter seeds, a periwinkle, honey, red cabbage seeds and a rare seed. On day 35, I do some foraging at the beach and also do some fishing there. I'm trying to make sure we catch all of the fish we can during this first year because, truth be told, the fishing in this game fills me with an immense amount of anxiety. So, I want to catch all of the fish we can as soon as we can. Next, it is community center time. We finish off multiple fishing bundles and the artisan bundle, which is simply exquisite, and we donate some items to the bounty board bundles. Then, because it's raining, I decide to go fishing at the river so we can catch a walleye. We caught shads, we got treasure chests, we caught multiple bream, we caught a pike and green algae. We even took a break from fishing to set up our crab pots that we got from completing a fishing bundle. We then caught even more bream. We did not, however, catch a single walleye, because you cannot catch a walleye during summer. Walleye only show up during fall and winter. Of course, I only realized this at the end of the day, not my proudest moment. We did reach level 8 in farming today though, so you know, take the good with the bad and all that. Even more good news on day 36 as many of our crops are ready, including our ancient fruit and Joja berries. I head to Pierre's where a nice little cutscene plays. All of the farmers in town were there, which was a very nice moment. I sell my crops to Pierre, then visit Robin's and ask her to build a shed on my farm. At this point, I would like to emphasize that my farm is very much a work in progress. It looks disgustingly unorganized at the minute, but we will remedy that in the future. I buy 5 acorns, maple seeds and pine cones as well as 20 tree fertilizer, then buy 20 eggplant seeds from the clearance bin at Joja Mart. Clint needs iridium ore and coal from us so he can get rid of the big boulder at the mountain area. Yeah, that's not going to happen anytime soon, I'm sorry Clint. Clint is selling some cool items though. Bars, geodes, battery packs, lightning rods and crystallariums. But we don't buy anything, we don't really need any of that right now. Instead, we head to the mines and collect some iron bars and refined quartz, then we head back to the farm and make 15 lightning rods so we can collect batteries the next time there's a storm. I buy 2 more iridium sprinklers and 46 melon seeds, set up the lightning rods on our farm and plant our new seeds. Gus visits us on day 37 to give us the mini jukebox. This is why Gus is one of my favourite villagers. Aside from being an all-around good person, he also gives us my favourite item in the game. From now on, I'm only going to talk about harvesting crops when we get something new, which happens to be right now. We got a taro root. This is pretty interesting because it means that Ginger Island crops can grow from mixed seeds during summer. So we'll probably get a pineapple at some point during this season. I donate a single item to the museum, then I spend the rest of the day chopping down trees in the big forest. At this point, I'm going to have to get a tattoo on my hand that says Pierre's is closed on Wednesdays. I throw some crappie whoppies into the shipping bin on day 38, not just once, but twice, and it was very, very nice. Then I spend the rest of the day fishing. Between selling our crops, the fish we caught today, and some of the fish I've kept up to this point, we made a delicious 31,000 gold. Day 39 is the day of the luau. I spent some time talking to the villagers, mainly the new ones like Sophia, Victor, and Olivia. But I also talked to Abigail, who says she prefers looking out at the ocean over talking to everybody. I agree and stand beside her for a while. I throw a gold quality sturgeon into the soup, which gets the best reaction from the governor. This also earns us 120 friendship points with the villagers. Mother sends us a lovely pink cake on day 40, which was very nice of her. I give it to Olivia, who... hold on. What did Olivia just say? I might have to marry Olivia just for saying the word exquisite. Maybe. I'm either going to marry her or Sophia. Or Sebastian. Or Maru. Or Abigail or Victor. I don't know. I'm probably going to fall in love with any new villagers we meet in the future too, so we'll just see what happens. I sell some crops to Pierre, then visit Sophia, who is tending to the casks in her cellar. She says her parents made them, but then she gets upset. We head upstairs where Sophia tells us that on the 4th day of fall, her parents were involved in a car accident. Gus and Lewis had tears in their eyes as they knocked on the door of Sophia's home and told her the news. Listen, I'm a very cynical person, as you all know, which is why I was very surprised when I got a bit choked up during this cutscene. Sophia asks us to help her decorate her parents' room tomorrow, which we immediately agree to. I buy 15 fall seeds, 5 kale and 2 bok choys in Joja Mart. Then it's off to Pierre's to buy 6 iridium sprinklers, 100 melon seeds, a seed maker and 25 mixed seeds. I have been talking about this day for way too long already, so it's time for a quickfire round. I head to Robin's and ask her to build a coop, ask Clint to upgrade my pickaxe, buy a nautilus shell from the travelling cart, feel extremely disappointed when Marnie isn't home, and plant all of the seeds we bought today. Day 41 is a rainy day, which is good because the storm will cause our lightning rods to produce battery packs. But it's bad because the mini jukebox doesn't work in the rain. For the next couple of weeks, I will be putting around half of the ancient fruit and Joja berries we harvest into the seed maker. The goal is to get as many of those seeds as we can to put them into our greenhouse when we unlock it. Next, it's off to Sophia's to help her decorate her parents' room. She says she's going to send us something really special in the mail tomorrow to thank us for helping her. I really, really hope it's a Ferrari. I would start wearing leather jackets and sunglasses and even change my name to Lil Rari. I set up a little tree farm, making sure to use tree fertilizer, then I spend the rest of the day frolicking in the big forest. Sophia sends us a bottle of aged Blue Moon wine on day 42. We are now faced with a moral dilemma. Do we sell this bottle of wine for 10,000 gold, or do we hold on to it? If someone gave it to us randomly, then I would sell it straight away, no hesitation. But I just don't feel comfortable selling it, considering Sophia gave it to us for helping her. I think Stardew Valley is actively making me a better person. We harvest our red cabbage, which is a huge relief. I thought a crow ate it for a moment. We get another Sophia cutscene where she's walking around town, talking to the other villagers and looking happier than she has ever been. This game is going to make me cry. It's going to make me go back to my sensitive era. Sophia pets Dusty the dog, which is unironically heartwarming. The cutscene ends with Sophia inviting us to read manga with her. I head into Caroline's sunroom for the first time, which means she will send us the recipe for tea saplings tomorrow. I'm not going to make a lot of tea saplings though. I'll probably make one to throw into our shipping bin and another to plant so we can get tea leaves and make green tea. I collect my pickaxe from Clint and buy a nautilus shell from the travelling cart, then I spend some time clearing out some of the grass and stone on the farm. I donate some items to the community centre, then I spend 5,500 gold on the cooking recipe for the Big Bark Burger. I head to the beach and use 300 wood to repair the broken bridge, do some foraging at the tide pool area and try to catch the legendary crimson fish. For some reason I was more nervous when it came to catching this fish than the legend. Turns out there was no need to worry though because I was able to catch it first try. We also reached level 9 in farming so we can start making iridium sprinklers if we can get our hands on some iridium bars. Caroline sends us the recipe for tea saplings on day 43, which is a marvellous way to start the day. We sell our crops to Pier, and at the risk of sounding like a broken record, I don't think I'll mention selling crops to Pier anymore. I donate a blueberry to the community centre, completing the summer crops bundle. Then we visit Maru, who is having trouble with a project she is working on. She wants our help solving 2 equations. The first question was very easy to figure out. I simply took the 0.5 and put it into its less commonly known form, a half. I then took this half and applied it to the number 4. Half of 4 is 2. There is only one answer that contains the number 2, so I picked that one and it was correct. I'll be honest, I had no idea where to start with the second question. But then I started thinking outside the box. The answer to the first question was 2. This is the second question, ergo the answer to this one must contain a 2, ergo the answer is 0.24 ATM. I buy 10 bee houses and 10 kegs from Robin along with a full stack of wood and 150 stone, and I ask her to build a barn on my farm. I buy another 50 melon seeds and 50 mixed seeds from Pierre, then spend the rest of the day setting up my kegs and planting my melon seeds. I place my bee houses down on day 44, but then Hornswoggle immediately runs into them and I feel really bad, so I pick them back up. We actually ended up harvesting a couple of pineapples today, which was pretty cool, and I set up my bee houses by our silo and tree farm. I head to Willie's and buy 3 crab pots and some bait, collect my other 3 crab pots from the river and place all 3 down at the beach. And that's it for today. I donate some crops to the community centre on day 45, then I embarrass myself again and throw my crops into my shipping bin. I used every ounce of self-control in my body to refrain from selling the wine Sophia gave us, then I went to Georgia Mart and bought 50 corn seeds along with 10 winter seeds from the clearance bin. I head to Shearwater Bridge where Victor talks about how much he likes bridges. That reminds me actually, you want to hear one of my favourite jokes? Alright, a construction worker was asked by his manager to build a suspension bridge. The worker agrees and spends around a week working on it. He finishes building it and he shows it to his manager. His manager says, "You've done a terrible job. That bridge looks like it's about to collapse within the next 5 minutes." The worker nods his head and says, "I know, but can't you feel it?" The manager is tremendously confused and says, "Feel what?" The construction worker looks his manager in the eyes and says, "The suspense." See, the manager asked him to build a suspension bridge, so the worker built a bridge that makes you feel suspense. Yeah, let's just move on. I spend the rest of the day fishing at Shearwater Bridge so we can get some more gold. At first we were mainly catching pike, butterfish and rainbow trout, but then I caught a puppy fish. Then another puppy fish. 3 in a row. Make that 4 in a row. Did I say 4? I meant to say 5 in a... Wait, no, that's a butterfish. Between our crops and our fish, we earned 24,000 gold today. I decided to sell my crimson fish too, but I forgot to sell the puppy fish I caught for some reason. Emily sends us some wool on day 46, which is nice. We need that for the community centre. I complete one of the bounty board bundles and donate the aforementioned piece of wool. Then I head to the mines and collect some copper and iron bars. I buy 11 battery packs from Clint, do some foraging at the beach and head back to my farm and make 15 tappers which I put on my trees. I head to Robin's to donate the items needed to repair Grandpa's shed when I realised that we were supposed to bring these items to the shed, not Robin's house. I head down there and throw the iron bars, hardwood, battery packs and stone into the chest contained within it. I spend the rest of the day collecting hardwood in the secret woods. Day 47 is off to a good start as Robin lets us know that the shed will be fully repaired tomorrow. I head to Marnie's and buy 4 chickens for our coop. Please welcome Jay, Jimmy, Solo and Roman to the family. I also buy 4 cows for our barn. These 4 cows are Balor, Rhea, Damien and Dominic. I also head to Robin's and ask her to build a pond on our farm. We reached level 10 in farming today, so I picked the agriculturalist perk, which makes our crops grow 10% faster. This perk is more beneficial to us right now, but we will swap to the artisan perk in the future. On day 48, I grab all of our ancient seeds and Georgia berry seeds and head over to our new shed. There's a ton of space on the bottom floor, so we will probably fill it up with kegs, preserve jars and furnaces for a good while before we transition to filling it up entirely with kegs. I buy 3 iridium sprinklers from Pier, then head back to my farm and grab our eggplant, fall and winter seeds, as well as an iridium sprinkler that wasn't being used, and head to the greenhouse in the top floor of our shed. I spend the rest of the day planting all of the seeds I brought with me. The Joja berry seeds are a bit tricky to work with because we can't walk through them. So we planted them on the inner section and planted our other seeds around them. I start day 49 by throwing a puppy fish into our pond, then I ask Robin to upgrade the shed on our farm. The rest of day 49, along with days 50 and 51, are spent going through the mines. We primarily focus on collecting iron and coal. I also get started on turning our upgraded shed into a storage area at the end of day 51. We had a nice little sale on that same day too, as we made around 13,000 gold from the items we shipped. On day 52, it's back to chopping down trees for a while, then we make our way to Robin's to put our coop and barn next to each other. I buy 25 chests for our storage area, chop down more trees in the backwoods, and spend the rest of the day working on the storage area. I know this was a short day, but the quicker we get organized, the better. And I hate having random chests filled with random items, so this really helped to soothe my soul. On day 53, I am regretting not buying more melon seeds because they're a big reason why we earned so much gold when we sold our crops to Pier. I head to the community center and buy all of the bundles in the vault room, which means we'll be able to start going to the desert tomorrow. I head to the Adventurers Guild and buy the lava katana for 25,000 gold. Was this worth it? I don't know. Probably not, but the lava katana is a lot better than our obsidian edge sword. I collect my iron bars from the mines and buy some coal from Clint. I use these iron bars and coal to make a total of 255 explosive ammo. I head to our greenhouse in Grandpa's shed to harvest the eggplants that have grown, and the Junimos repair the bus during the night. We're off to the desert on day 54. I do some foraging, exchange 6 Omni Geodes for 2 desert warp totems, and head into the Skull Caverns. Our main goal today is to make it past level 25. Doing so results in Mr. Blue sending you 10,000 gold in the mail, which we really need right now. We do pretty well with our slingshot and explosive ammo. Level 18 was pretty scary because of how many Pepper Rexes there were, but we did get 2 dinosaur eggs from them. I'm still getting used to using the slingshot, but we're getting there, we're not doing too bad. I managed to make it down to level 53 just before we pass out. The first thing I do on day 55 is use the money we got from selling our crops to buy the second backpack upgrade. This was long overdue. I have no idea why I didn't buy it sooner. Our melon wine is ready, and after harvesting the rest of our crops, I head to Clint's and ask him to upgrade our pickaxe. Next on the agenda is another trip to Piers where I make a neat little discovery. The monster fruit sells for around 1600 gold each. That is the most expensive crop we have sold so far. I head to Robin's and ask her to build a second shed on our farm, then I watch a cutscene featuring Olivia. She talks to us about wine and music. I love music. I have no opinion on wine, so overall I enjoy this conversation. Mr. Blue sends us 10,000 gold on day 56, which I am very grateful for. I harvest the fall and winter forage that has grown in our greenhouse, then I head to the community centre to complete the quality crops bundle and the fall foraging bundle. Also, the last item we need for the winter foraging bundle is the winter crocus, but the desert trader has winter seeds in stock on Saturdays, so we'll get those as soon as we can. I donate a good few items to the museum and collect the Dwarvish translation guide and 9 pumpkin seeds from the rewards available to us. I'll come back for the rest of our rewards at some point in the future. As it is the final day of summer, the Dance of the Moonlight Jellies is being held at the beach. We skedaddle straight there as the sun sets and spend some time talking to the usual suspects. I really wish there was a way to have the beach look like this every night. It is very peaceful here. As the jellyfish approach the beach, I can't help but feel that the crab pots I left here are slightly ruining the vibes, but that's okay. Nothing, and I mean nothing, can ruin this festival for me. On day 57, we keep up the trend of buying 5 of each crop. We also treat ourselves to 200 pumpkin seeds. We collect our gold pickaxe from Clinty Winty, then it's off to the Skull Cavern for the rest of the day. We actually do pretty well here. We make it down to floor 49 where a pile of iridium ore is waiting for us. not a bad end to the day. On day 58, we get to work on planting all of the seeds we bought yesterday. It takes pretty much the entire day, but we managed to get everything planted and watered. I also put a jade into a crystallarium, so we're going to collect those as often as we can so we can trade them for staircases at some point in the future. I throw the winter forage I got last season into a seed maker so we can start getting more winter seeds. If all goes well, we could finish off the community centre during fall. Or maybe we won't. I don't know yet. Either way, we plant our winter seeds in the greenhouse in Grandpa's old shed and collect the eggplants that have grown, then we collect some bars from our furnaces in the mines. To end the day, I put the machines we have into our shed. On the morning of day 59, I plant the last few pumpkin seeds we have along with some mixed seeds. The special orders board has been built in the town centre, which is nice. I'm actually excited to see what special orders have been added with the expanded mod. For now, we accept Linus's quest to fish trash out of the water because it will give us the crafting recipe for fibre seeds. I throw my tools into a chest outside the museum before cracking open all of our geodes and clints. We managed to get a prismatic shard out of our last Omni geode, which is simply exquisite. I donate all of the minerals and artifacts we have to the museum except the prismatic shard, of course. I have much bigger plans for that. I plant my 2 rare seeds in the greenhouse, throw our remaining minerals into the shipping bin and use the desert warp totem to get to Calico Desert. I do a bit of foraging before exchanging our prismatic shard for the galaxy sword, but I'm not done yet. I buy some beet seeds from Sandy and plant them in our greenhouse too. This may seem like a bit of an odd maneuver, but it will make sense very soon. Gunther visits us on day 60 and thanks us for donating so many items to the museum. This is normally the cutscene where we receive the key to the sewers, but that doesn't happen here. We watch another cutscene after this where we see Marilyn entering the sewers. So I'm assuming this means we get the key to the sewers from Marilyn instead of Gunther. Next it's off to Robin's to buy some wood and stone and to ask her to upgrade our barn. Today is truly the most social day we've had so far as we see yet another cutscene with Marilyn. He congratulates us on obtaining the galaxy sword. We can now buy the other galaxy weapons from him. We will probably buy the galaxy hammer at some point in the future, but we're good for now. Also, Marilyn won't tell us about the sewers yet, so I guess we need to get his friendship up or something. I head to level 100 of the mines and do some fishing to complete Linus's special order. Here's a tip: if you want an easy way to catch all of the trash needed for a special order, just go fishing here. You're almost guaranteed to get a special order done in no time. We throw the trash into the dumpster, then it's time to catch our third legendary fish, the anglerfish. This is probably the easiest legendary fish to catch. Of course, every legendary fish is very easy for me to catch considering I am a professional Stardew Valley athlete, as I said before. Gunther sends us 40,000 gold on day 61. I assume this is a reward for donating 60 items to the museum, seeing as he didn't give us the key to the sewers. Linus sends us the recipe to make fibre seeds too, so this is already a fantastic day. I decide to spend the day fishing so we can make some good progress on catching the fall fish as soon as we can. On day 62, we continue our quest to bankrupt Pierre, then it's off to Clint's to ask him to upgrade our pickaxe. I also drop off the iridium ore and coal he wanted us to get for his quest. I become a victim of my own success as I injure myself while clearing the way to the dwarf's home. The dwarf is selling some nice things, mainly a few artifacts along with different gems. So if we ever want to spend 16,000 gold on a prismatic shard, then we know where to go. I start chopping down trees, then I become incredibly lazy and head to Robin's where I instead buy the wood I need and ask her to upgrade my coop. Marilyn then decides that over the course of the last 2 days, we have done enough to earn his trust and he brings us to the sewers to meet Krobus for the first time. He also gives us the key to the sewers, so that answers the question of how do we unlock the sewers. Krobus' shop is interesting. They are selling some artifacts along with different types of mushrooms. I decide to buy a void egg, then it is fishing time. There are 2 fish we want to catch here. One is the 4th legendary fish, the mutant carp. Like the angler, this one isn't too bad at all and we catch it on the first try. We've actually managed to catch all of the legendary fish first try so far, which, I mean, look, if I can do it, then anybody can do it, alright? You just have to believe in yourself. If you fight for your dreams, then your dreams will fight for you. I stole that quote, by the way. Daniel Bryan, or Bryan Danielson as he's known now in AEW. He said that when he came out of retirement in 2018, but no joke, alright, I genuinely think that is one of the most inspiring things that has ever been said by anybody. Anyway, we also caught the radioactive bass, which is actually a really good fish to have. If you throw this fish into a fish pond, there is a chance it will produce radioactive ore, and then as the fish pond fills up, it could produce a radioactive bar. I am still stuck in fishing mode, so I decided to catch a midnight carp just before the day ends. Strawberry seeds are being sold for 1 gold each in the Georgia clearance bin on day 63, so I buy all 15 of them. I head to the mines and buy 5 mega bombs, 15 normal bombs, and 2 miner's treats from the dwarf, then I make my way up to the mountain area. The boulder is gone thanks to Clint making a bomb with the iridium ore and coal we gave him, so we can go to the summit. Normally you can only go here when you achieve perfection, so technically we're done. Yeah, we're finished. We've made it to the summit. Yeah, thanks for watching. Have a good... Okay, no, we're not. We still have plenty to do. I'm just having a bit of a giggle. I'm sorry. Let's move on to the next day. Our best friend Pierre sends us over 4,000 gold on day 64 as a thank you for us buying things from him. I throw a dinosaur egg into the incubator in our coop, then I throw a battery pack into the box in the tunnel. After that, I harvest our beets and our winter forage that have grown in the greenhouse. I collect my iridium pickaxe from Clint and ask Robin to build another pond on our farm. I throw a rainbow shell into the box at the old train station, I think is what it is. Accept a special order from Robin to collect 80 hardwood and put 10 beets into the fridge in Lewis's house. I then use a desert warp totem to get to the desert, of course. I put a solar essence into the mouth of the old skeleton thingy to complete Mr. Blue's quest. This means we can now enter his casino in the back of Sandy's shop. Day 65 is spent entirely in the Skull Cavern. First we use a warp totem to get to the desert as soon as we can. Then we make our way through the mines with unparalleled levels of pure, unadulterated, ruthless aggression. This ends up paying off as we make it to level 104 at around 1 AM. This was also a really nice floor with a good bit of iridium and gold ore to end the day with. Day 66 starts in a wonderful way as our ancient fruit and Jojo berry wine is ready for collection. I throw a radioactive bass into our fish pond, ask Clint to upgrade our watering can, and spend the rest of the day chopping down trees. I begin day 67 by purchasing 200 pumpkin seeds. Then it's off to Robin's to ask her to upgrade our coop. Next on the agenda is a trip to Marnie's to buy some more animals for our farm. Please welcome Kofi, Xavier, and E, the ducks, to the family. I visit the casino for the first time and buy 300 coins. I then lose all of my coins, so I have to buy 300 more. We almost lost these ones too, but we managed to get 3 parsnips, which rewarded us with 500. We got a couple hundred more, then we had some really good luck and got 8,000. We were sort of stuck in limbo for a while in the sense that we would lose a couple hundred, then win around 1,000, then lose some more. And then it happened. We received 250,000 for getting 3 star drops. I use my coins to buy 500 hardwood fences, 105 farm warp totems, a rare crow, a top hat, a new bed, and a statue of treasure. I do not know what this statue does, but it looks pretty neat. I return to our farm and place our scarecrow and put the hat on it. I spend the rest of the day clearing out debris on our farm. I finally buy the bouquet on day 68, but I have no idea who to give it to. I head to Clint's and pick up our watering can, and that's it for today. Our pumpkins are ready on day 69, which makes this a sensational day already. I drop 80 hardwood off at Robin's house and use our newfound fortune to fund the upgrading of our barn. I also buy 20 kegs and 20 preserve jars. I plant another 200 pumpkin seeds on our farm and put some pumpkins into the kegs in our shed. I then take the kegs and preserve jars we purchased earlier today into Grandpa's shed and fill them up with pumpkins. At the end of the day, we have a nice little conversation with Olivia in the saloon. She lets us know that if we ever need something to eat, we can stop by her house and she will make something for us. We order the Red Moon drink, which also ends up being Olivia's favourite drink. I kinda want to give the bouquet to Olivia, but at the same time I kinda want to give it to Sophia, and Victor, and Shane, and Maru, and Abigail, and probably like 3 more NPCs we'll meet in the future, so I think I'm going to hold off on giving it to someone for now. On day 70, I make quite the discovery. The statue of treasure we bought from the casino produces an artifact trove every day. I like that. Olivia sends us 5 bottles of wine in the mail. I like that too. We also harvest a monster mushroom. I do not know exactly what this is, but it looks like something out of Super Mario, so it's cool, I guess. I harvest the Joja berries that have finally grown in the greenhouse and sell everything to Pierre, earning us 27 million gold. No, I'm just kidding. We got like 50,000 gold. I don't know why that wasn't even funny. I'm gonna move on. I donate some items to the community center, fully completing the remaining fishing bundles. I also donate a crocus to finish off the final bundle in the crafts room along with the fall crops bundle. This means all we have left is the animal bundle and the bounty board bundles. I buy 20 fiber seeds and an apple tree sapling in the clearance bin at Georgia Mart and head to Marnie's to buy some rabbits. I am delighted to announce that John, Wheeler, Claudio and Brian have been added to our coop. As well as this, Bray, Luke, Braun and Eric the goats have been added to our barn. I buy 10 cheese presses and 10 mayonnaise machines as well as 2 big eggs, a duck egg and a large milk. Looking back on this, the eggs and milk were a waste of money because I had all of those things ready to collect in my coop and barn, but it is what it is. I buy an artichoke and a rare crow at the travelling cart, and then I accidentally place our apple tree sapling in our greenhouse. It's not really a big deal, but it's very clearly out of place. So as soon as we harvest the apple we need from it, we're going to get rid of it. It's messing with my vibrations. Something peculiar is occurring at the fountain. Caroline simply sighs and says, "Pierre," when I talk to her. Pierre then says, "Not now, Farmer Bright Pisces." I do not know what is going on. Perhaps they are having a lover's quarrel, much like the one that occurred between Lewis and Morris some time ago. Regardless of the reason, I don't really care, mainly because Pierre speaking to me in that tone really hurt me. So I have decided to put him on my list of enemies. I donate some items to the community center, fully completing the animal bundle and unlocking the greenhouse on our farm. I head to Robin's on day 71 to move some of her buildings around and ask her to build the 3rd pond on our farm. I'll probably throw a sturgeon into this pond because the roe it produces can be put into a preserve jar to make caviar. I also buy all of the crafting recipes she has for sale just to get that out of the way. The Stardew Valley Fair takes place on day 72. I set up my Grange display and talk to the villagers. Just in case you're wondering, I do have the seasonal outfits mod installed for both Vanilla Stardew and Stardew Valley Expanded. I will have both of these mods linked in the description, so if you're interested, you can find them there. Haley tells us about the fortune teller and says that the fortune teller told her something interesting. She does not say what that something interesting is, though. That is very annoying. We end up coming first in the Grange display competition, earning 1,000 tokens. I decide to talk to the fortune teller myself. She sees a vision of Demetrius's birthday. He thought everybody forgot about it, but then we showed up with a nice gift. Don't worry, Demetrius, I've got your back. Next, she tells us that it seems I will be leaving more than a few heartbroken. This one hurt. That is not my intention, I just can't decide who to marry, so I don't know what to do. Okay, I might just not marry anybody. Well, actually, I have to marry someone because one of the star drops you get is given to you after you marry someone and get them to 12.5 hearts. So we kind of have, let's just move on, alright? Her final vision is something dreadful bearing down on us, but we are more than ready to face it. I've gotten this one every time I've talked to the fortune teller, so that's not very interesting anymore. I play the slingshot game and earn 210 star tokens. Then I bet all of my star tokens on orange. The wheel lands on green and I lose all of them. I played the fishing minigame and earn a lovely 420 star tokens. Then I play it again and earn another 564 star tokens. I decide to bet all of these tokens on green and we win, which doubles our tokens. Just to be on the safe side, I only bet 900 tokens and thankfully we win again, which gives us just enough star tokens to buy the star drop and the rare crow. The star drop reminds me of my favourite thing, water. Water is the drink of champions and I am happy to guzzle it. I don't even know what I'm saying anymore. Look, I have one brain cell left and it's in the shape of a heart emoji. On day 73, I harvest the ancient fruit in our greenhouse in Grandpa's shed. After throwing the ancient fruit into our preserve jars, we accept a special order from Marlin. Marlin wants 30 cherry bombs, 20 normal bombs, and 10 mega bombs. So, it's off to the mines for the rest of the day to collect all of the gold ore we need for this. On day 74, I throw a sturgeon into my pond. I think that will be the last pond we build on our farm, for a while at least. I really need to get an auto grabber and put it into my coop. We collect our pumpkin juice and harvest our joja berries, which we throw into the kegs. I buy more kegs and preserve jars from Robin and I ask her to upgrade our shed. I head to the Adventurers Guild and deliver the items Marlin requested yesterday as part of his special order. Then it's back to Grandpa's shed to place the kegs and preserve jars we bought. On the morning of day 75, I head to Clint's and buy 30 Omni Geodes. I crack them all open and ask Clint to upgrade my axe. I donate the items we received from our Omni Geodes to the museum, then I become absolutely mesmerized by the chicken that is walking into the museum. It goes inside and stands beside Jazz. I don't know why I found this so interesting. Up next is a cutscene where Marlin gives the bombs we made to an adventurer called Jadu. Jadu says that I have impeccable craftsmanship. Someone used the word impeccable in a comment at one of my videos and I said I was going to start using that word, but it looks like Jadu got there before me. Has he been reading the comments on my videos too? As a reward for completing Marlin's special order, we can now buy decorations in his shop. A baby lizard has appeared in our coop on day 76. I decide to call this baby lizard Gargano. I buy a pig from Marnie, whom I lovingly named Jaden. Our ancient fruit jelly is ready in Grandpa's shed, so I collect it, then it's off to the community centre to donate a rabbit's foot and a pomegranate. On day 77, I pick up all of the furnaces, kegs and other machines in my shed, then I put the furnaces back down along with the mayonnaise machines and cheese presses. I buy 2 heaters and an auto grabber from Marnie along with 10 cheese presses, 10 mayonnaise machines and 100 straw floors. I buy 6 iridium sprinklers and 31 ancient seeds from Pierre, then I head to Grandpa's shed to place the kegs and preserve jars we gathered this morning. I plant our ancient seeds in this greenhouse, then I plant our coffee beans and joja berry seeds in the greenhouse on our farm. Our goal with the greenhouse on our farm is to fill it up completely with joja berries and coffee beans. The wizard has a special order for us on day 78. He would like some prismatic jelly. We accept his special order, collect our gold axe from Clint, and donate a duck feather and a sea urchin to the community centre. I head to the mines to see if we can find a prismatic slime. I was fully expecting this to take multiple days. So you can imagine my surprise when we managed to find a prismatic slime in a relatively short amount of time. I head to the quarry and break a few rocks, not sure why I decided to mention that, then I head to the wizard's tower to bring him the prismatic jelly. On day 79, I am reminded of how much I used to enjoy collecting cheese and mayonnaise from the machines. It is very relaxing to me for some reason. Our joja berries are ready for harvest, so I collect them all and throw most of them into the seed makers. I do this until we have 68 joja berry seeds. Pierre was definitely horrified when he saw us walking into his shop, knowing he was about to hand out thousands of gold for items he probably won't be able to sell. I decide to buy 75 ancient seeds before heading to our greenhouse and planting our joja berry seeds. Day 80 is a pumpkin harvest day. As well as this, a sweet gem berry has grown on the other side of our farm. I harvest the ancient fruit and 2 sweet gem berries from our greenhouse, plant some of the ancient seeds we bought yesterday, and genuinely consider buying a Joja membership. I am sick and tired of dealing with Pierre's being closed on Wednesday. Granted, if we just complete the community centre, his shop won't be closed on Wednesdays anymore, but I'm just very frustrated, alright? I ask Robin to upgrade my house because I am in tremendous need of a pick-me-up. I head to Clint's to crack open some artifact troves, and we don't get much, but we do get a golden pumpkin, which is cool. I donate one item to the museum, then I give a sweet gem berry to the old Master Cannoli statue and receive a star drop in return. Linus sends us a Mackie roll on day 81, which was very kind of him as we need this for the community centre. Next we buy 3 more pigs for our barn. Cyrus, Alexis and the Chaz will hopefully feel right at home on our farm. I buy 10 cheese presses, mayonnaise machines and looms along with an auto grabber, then I head into the sewers and buy a star drop from Krobus. I head to Clint's and buy 30 Omni Geodes and ask him to upgrade our watering can before heading to the community centre to donate the Mackie roll that Linus gave us this morning. I buy the triple shot espresso recipe and collect our pickled corn and Georgia berry wine to finish off the day. I decide to take off my hat on day 82 and start showing off my incredible head of hair. However, this action took a lot out of me, so I decided to be very lazy and spend the entire day foraging in the big forest. Our house has been upgraded on day 83, so now that we have access to the kitchen, I make a fried egg for the community centre. However, something not that chill has happened. Our void egg is ready to hatch, but our coop is full, which means we need to build another coop on our farm just for this void chicken. So I head to Robin's and ask her to build a brand new coop for this chicken. I wanted to go into town, but the Spirits Eve festival was being set up. I put some more kegs and preserve jars into Grandpa's shed and fill them up with Georgia berries, then I head to the casino. It turns out I can buy the Statue of Treasure again, which makes me think you can buy one statue each day. So we'll definitely be coming back here at least a couple of times every week. The artifact troves we get from them will really help us with the museum collection. I buy the Rare Crow and the Jack-o'-lantern recipe at the festival, and I talk to the villagers. Sophia says she went into the maze but she gave up and left because she was hungry. It is taking every single bit of self-control I have to not give that woman the bouquet. I make my way through the maze, collecting the golden pumpkin at the end. It was actually more difficult to make my way back out of the maze than it was to complete it and get the pumpkin. Day 84 is the final day of fall. I head to Marnie's where I get outsmarted by a chicken who successfully blocks me from talking to Marnie for a solid 30 seconds. I decide to buy a truffle before heading to the casino to buy another Statue of Treasure. It's off to Clint's where I collect my watering can and buy 30 more Omni Geodes. I'm not entirely sure what I'll do with these. Either I'll have Clint crack them all open for the last 3 minerals I need, or I'll eat them. I donate the truffle to the community centre, which means all we need now is 3 apples. I run into Marlon in the mountain area, who invites us to join the next meeting himself and the wizard will have. They will be talking about the new members of the Adventurers Guild. I immediately say yes. I want to know more about the Adventurers Guild and the wizard and Marlon. Give me all of the lore, please. We visit Abigail at the end of the day, who shows us her spirit board, aka her Ouija board. The board spells out I heart bright, but before I can finish the sentence, Abigail knocks the board to the floor. Just in case anybody has forgotten, my farmer's name is Bright Pisces. So the board is saying that Abigail likes our farmer. I do not know why. I have negative riz. Being seen with me is a detriment to your public image. I actively decrease the value of anybody I spend time with. That's it. Fall is over. I don't know why I decided to roast myself for the end of the season. Let's just move on. I will see you all in winter. Day 85 is the first day of winter. It begins with a visit from Abigail, who basically tells us that she likes our farmer. I've said it before, I'll say it again, I will probably say it many more times in the future. I am struggling immensely when it comes to deciding who to marry. We run into the shadow guy at the bus stop, so we track him down and receive the magnifying glass. This is very good. Now we can collect secret notes. I buy 10 strawberry seeds from the Georgia clearance bin, then I spend the rest of the day redesigning the farm. We have a bit of a kerfuffle on day 86. The void egg in our incubator is still ready to hatch. I thought it would have hatched automatically when we had a second coop built, but it has not. I need to brainstorm here. I'll figure out a way to fix this eventually. I harvest the coffee beans that are ready in our greenhouse and replant them. Unfortunately, I had to take away 2 of our joja berries so we could get to 1 row of coffee beans. Many different types of jelly, pickles, wines, and aged rose are ready in Grandpa's shed, so I collect all of them. Also, our total earnings says we have reached over 1 million gold, so we completed that goal. My apologies for not realizing that sooner. It's off to Piers, where we sell our artisan goods and buy 200 winter seeds. Once again, the rest of the day is spent working on our farm. Our ancient wine and corn juice are ready on day 87. After collecting those, we head upstairs to our greenhouse and harvest the joja berries and ancient fruit that have grown. Then we toss those into our kegs and preserve jars. I buy 2 void eggs from Krobus. One of these will get tossed into our shipping bin. The other will be turned into void mayonnaise, which will also be thrown into the shipping bin. A trip to Robin's is up next, where we purchase 20 kegs and preserve jars along with some tree fertilizer. Those kegs and preserve jars get thrown into our greenhouse so we can make coffee and joja berry jelly. The rest of the day is spent decorating the you get the point. I am over the moon to announce that on day 88 I solved our little issue involving the void egg. I moved John into the new coop we built. Our void egg finally hatched and added a void chicken to the coop. I decided to call this chicken Jeff Winger. I then moved this chicken to the new coop and moved John back to the original coop. Next, we watch a cutscene where Krobus is playing with a little green Junimo. I buy a heater and some hay from Marnie, then I talk to Krobus about the Junimo we saw. The Junimo showed their little village to Krobus. Krobus was very happy about this because he's not welcome in most villages or towns. Krobus deserves so much better. Willie would like us to fetch 100 pieces of bug meat, so we'll take care of that at some point. I crack open some artifact troves at Clint's and ask him to upgrade our hoe, then I donate the artifacts we received to the museum. Next up is a trip to the desert where we buy a statue of fortune and a warp totem so we can immediately go back home after this. Surprise, surprise, the rest of the day is spent decorating the farm. On day 89, we officially start our coffee empire. This was long overdue. We really should have done this sooner. The faster movement is almost a necessity now because of how big Pelican Town is. We spend the rest of the day in the mines collecting bug meat for Willie's quest. The pond containing our radioactive bass has produced a radioactive ore on day 90, which is pretty neat. I collect my copper hoe from Clint, then I turn around and immediately ask him to upgrade it again. Once again, the rest of the day is spent collecting bug meat in the mines. Our winter forage is ready to collect on day 91. Like I said before though, we aren't going to use these to make tea saplings. We don't really need the money right now, and we can use the joja berries and ancient fruit in our greenhouse to get any money we need in the future anyway. The rest of the day is spent fishing. We collect our joja berry jelly and wine on day 92. Our joja berries are also ready for harvest, so we collect those. I'm pretty sure I said I wasn't going to talk about us harvesting crops anymore, so I apologize for mentioning it here. Now that I think about it, I have definitely mentioned it a couple of times before this too, so my bad, alright, this one's on me, it won't happen again. Anyway, we toss our fruit and artisan goods into our shipping bin because I've got some big plans for winter that require a bit of gold. I head to the Festival of Ice and spend some time talking to the villagers, then we begin the fishing competition. I tried so hard to win this competition. Like, I really put my all into it. I can't even begin to describe how much I wanted to win this competition, but alas, I guess I just didn't try hard enough. We made over 180,000 gold from the items we shipped, which is sensational. I decided to start making triple shot espressos on day 93. It takes 3 coffees to make 1 triple shot espresso, but it's worth it. A normal coffee gives you +1 speed for 1 minute and 23 seconds. A triple shot espresso gives you +1 speed for 4 minutes and 12 seconds. So if my math is correct, then the speed boost you get from 1 triple shot espresso lasts 3 seconds longer than the speed boost you would get from drinking the 3 normal coffees you use to make it. I don't know why I'm saying all of this. It's not interesting, and I highly doubt this is going to change the way anybody plays the game. I'm sorry for wasting your time. Anyway, moving on. Demetrius would like us to catch river fish for a special order. I crack open some artifact troves and omni geodes and Clint's and ask him to upgrade our hoe for the 3rd time. I donate a few items to the museum, collect the 5 warp totems from our rewards, and use 1 to get back to our farm. Then I head to the desert and exchange Omni Geodes for desert warp totems. On day 94, I feel a deep and profound sense of satisfaction as I collect our Joja Berry and ancient fruit wines. This feeling of satisfaction was so strong, in fact, that I didn't do anything else for the rest of the day. I ask Clint to upgrade our hoe for the final time on day 95. But before we go any further, we need to have a little discussion regarding one of our goals. Basically, I completely forgot that you can upgrade your trash can. An upgraded trash can gives you back a percentage of the gold that the item you throw into your trash can is worth. I'll put a picture on the screen with these percentages just to hopefully make things clearer. But basically, what I'm wondering is, should the trash can be included in our goal to fully upgrade all of our tools? On the one hand, I want to include it because there's plenty of time left to fully upgrade it. But on the other hand, I don't trust Clint. Like, I know for a fact that at some point we're going to walk into his shop and he won't be there. So I'm slightly nervous about potentially failing the goal because of that. But we're going to take a risk. I officially declare that we must upgrade our trash can in order to achieve that goal. Anyhoomst, the rest of the day is spent fishing. Look, I'll be honest, I did nothing on days 96 and 97, so we're just going to skip to day 98. I collect 2 apples from a chest along with all of the jade we have and head to Grandpa's shed to collect Joja berries. More importantly, our apple tree has finally grown, giving us the final apple we need for the community centre. I head right there and donate them, completing the final bundle. I was very happy about this. I head to the Adventurers Guild where we meet a new character. Alicia. She is an archer. Marlin asked her to help him fight some slimes in the mines. She was originally from Castle Village, but she currently resides in my heart. I cannot even begin to describe how much it hurts knowing that I can't marry her. I buy 2 iridium bands from Marlin and buy 75 mega bombs and 5 lollipops from the dwarf. I pay a visit to Joja Mart, and I think me completing the community centre today has temporarily messed up the Joja clearance bin because I can't see what's on sale. I buy a battery pack from the travelling cart, then I warp to the desert and trade my jade for 33 staircases. On day 99, I immediately use a desert warp totem. I consume a lollipop and use the 33 staircases to get down to level 29 of the Skull Cavern. Yeah, I messed up a few times, let's just ignore that. At around 9 PM, I make it down to level 97. I jump down a hole which takes us to level 100 where we meet Mr. Blue. I completely forgot that he appears on level 100. He congratulates us for making it down this far, but he's not too happy about us using staircases. But in my defense, I am very lazy and I just want to get as much iridium ore as I can. We make it down to level 127 before we pass out. This was an absolutely marvellous floor. We collected over 200 iridium ore, so in my eyes, this was a very successful Skull Cavern run. Also, I need to make a ton of spicy eel when I get the chance. We got a really nice speed boost when we ate one of those on top of the triple shot espresso that we drank. The community centre has officially been restored on day 100, so we have completed that goal. The wizard has a special order for us. He wants us to collect ectoplasm. I'm gonna keep going with these special orders and I'll only mention them in the future if we get one that really rustles my jimmies. I collect my iridium axe from Clint and ask him to upgrade our watering can. Yeah, we have plenty of time left to fully upgrade our watering can, so things are looking really good for us. Willie shows us his dilapidated boat. I donate the battery packs and iridium bars needed to repair the boat, but I didn't bring enough hardwood. One of the paintings that will be sold at the night market looks a lot like Abigail's original model. I'm pretty sure it's actually a painting of the mermaid, but that's still pretty cool. I return to Willie's shop a short time later with the rest of their hardwood and donate the 200 needed to repair the boat. Next, it is time to speedrun the wizard's quest. We meet the wizard at the bathhouse area, ask Krobus to open the door to the mutant bug lair, collect the dark talisman, buy a farm and mountain warp totem from Krobus, warp to our farm, collect the void mayonnaise, warp to the mountain area, use the dark talisman to open the door to the witch's swamp, give the void mayonnaise to the goblin henchman, collect the wizard's ink and bring it to the wizard, completing his quest. I head to the night market where I was going to buy the painting of the mermaid, but Sophia said she might buy it, so I left it there just in case she decided to buy it. The rest of the night is spent fishing in the submarine. We visit the wizard on day 101. He teaches us how to use magic. We can now use the Shrine of Illusions to change our appearance. In the southeast of the big forest, I find the entrance to an area known as Sprite Spring. 2 sprites live here, Angelica and Klaus. We swim across the lake here and find a bunch of winter forage. This is a nice area. I wish you could set up a little house here. Just to the south of the house owned by the Hat Mouse, I find the entrance to the Junimo Woods. I won't lie, I got lost here once, or twice, a few times, okay, many times, yeah, I got lost here many times, I'm not gonna lie. I found an iridium meteor, so I broke that, then I finally made it to the Junimo Hut area. I assume this is the village Krobus was talking about. The Junimos here are selling a ton of items. Ancient seeds, rare seeds, wild seeds, artifacts, the legendary fish, magic bait. We don't buy anything, but we will definitely come back here in the future. Lewis sends us a letter on day 102 to let us know that the person we will be giving a Christmas present to is Victor. Victor loves battery packs, so I'm happy with getting him. Next we watch a cutscene where Claire arrives at Joja Mart to start her shift. Except the Joja Mart has been abandoned. Nobody told her. I feel really bad for her. I'm going to try to get the cinema built as soon as I can because I assume she'll end up working there if we do that. I collect my watering can from Clint and ask him to upgrade our trash can. Willie's shop is full of crabs for some reason. Gus joins us and offers to take them off Willie's hands. He then tells us he'll be having a sale on crab cakes for the next few days. If you don't have access to coffee, then I would highly recommend buying as many of those crab cakes as you can. They give +1 speed for 16 minutes and 47 seconds, which is basically an entire day. Next, it is finally time to go to Ginger Island. We collect a golden walnut and give it to a parrot so we can talk to Leo. But that isn't why we're here. The real reason we're here is because we need to make it all the way through the volcano. We've got a galaxy sword, triple shot espressos, cheese and a fully upgraded watering can and pickaxe, so this wasn't too difficult at all. We make it to the end of the volcano at around midnight where we meet Lance. Why does this mod have so many attractive characters? The wizard pays us a visit on the morning of day 103. He wants us to meet him at his tower later on. This is the reason why I went through the volcano yesterday. Also, Lance visits us and gives us his schedule. Basically, we can see where he is at all times. I'm not gonna lie, I feel like Joe Goldberg now. You know, Lance has me feeling like... Also, Scarlett, Sophia's friend, visits us and lets us know that she has started working for Andy and Susan. We can visit Scarlett and Grampleton too if we use the railroad at the Bathhouse area. A training montage of sorts plays when we enter the wizard's tower. We have learned how to make teleportation runes. The wizard also talks to us about Angelica and Klaus. It turns out, Angelica is the crop fairy. We meet the wizard in the backwoods behind our farm where he sets up our nexus. This is basically the area where we can set up teleportation stations to go to different areas on the map. There are 7 teleportation stations that can be added here. The wizard immediately adds the first, allowing us to teleport to the wizard's tower. I head to the Sprite Spring where Angelica adds the area to our nexus. Next we head to the Adventurers Guild where Marlin adds this area to our nexus. We also agreed to help Gunther explore the mines tomorrow morning. Finally, we go to the Junimo Woods where a Junimo called Peaches adds this area to our nexus too. So now we've got 4 locations at our nexus. The Wizard's Tower, Junimo Woods, Sprite Spring, and the Adventurers Guild. On day 104, I head to Clint's and ask him to upgrade our trash can for the second time. I spend the rest of the day fishing to collect some of the fish in the new areas we've unlocked. We also help Gunther go through the mines and add our farm to our nexus. On day 105, Gunther sends us 20,000 gold in the mail for helping him in the mines. Our nexus is looking pretty nice. We've got 5 of the 7 teleportation stations unlocked. A beautiful sight awaits us in Grandpa's shed as many jellies and wines are ready. Once again, the rest of the day is spent fishing. Shane sends us a letter on day 106 to let us know that he took some of the items that were left in the Joja Mart when it was abandoned. We can now buy these items from him. Basically, the Georgia clearance bin has been moved to Marnie's ranch. I wanted to sell my artisan goods to Pierre, but the 22nd day of every season is community day, so every villager is going to the community center today. That is lovely, but I really wish Pierre would have bought my stuff before he left his shop. This put me in an absolutely terrible mood, so I did what I do every time I feel upset. I went to sleep. I did throw my artisan goods into the shipping bin and we received over 260,000 gold, so that cheered me up. I perform my daily ritual of collecting several artifact troves to start day 107, then I head to the desert and buy 600 starfruit seeds. I buy 2 iridium sprinklers from Pierre, toss my items into a chest, collect my trash can from Clint, and crack open many artifact troves. The only item we received that we can donate is the chicken statue. At this point, I just need to dig up artifact spots around the town to get the last few artifacts we need. I also need 3 more minerals, but I'll get those in the future. I head back to the farm and pick up 5 gold bars, then I return to Clint's and ask him to upgrade our trash can. I spend the rest of the day planting as many starfruit seeds as I can in our greenhouse. On day 108, I must say that our coffee bean and Jojo berry greenhouse looks absolutely sterling. I make my way to the railroad by the bathhouse and use it to pay a visit to Grampleton. This is where Scarlet lives. There isn't really much to do here besides talk to Scarlet, go inside her house and talk to her father Trayvon and her stepfather Hank. Being able to visit Grampleton and talk to Scarlet and her parents is completely new to me. This wasn't in the game when I played the Stardew Valley Expanded mod last year. I'm going to work on increasing my friendship with her as much as I can because I really want to see her cutscenes. I think she could easily become my favourite villager. I head back to Pelican Town and ask Robin to upgrade my house, then I spend the rest of the day digging up artifact spots. The Feast of the Winter Star takes place on day 109. Olivia was the first person to say Merry Christmas to me, so she's my favourite villager once again. Sophia was with Dusty the dog when I went over to her and talked to her. The first thing she said was, "Who's a good boy?" "You are." Now I know that she was saying this to Dusty, but I genuinely thought she was saying this to me at first and I couldn't stop laughing. So, Sophia is now my favourite villager because of the giggle I had when this happened. Something strange happened after this though. I tried to give Victor his Christmas present, but it didn't give me the option. I talked to pretty much everybody at the festival and it turns out Andy is the person I have to give a gift to. Listen, I am a very particular person, alright? I am terrible at dealing with an unexpected change of plans. Like no joke, as soon as something happens that I wasn't ready for, my brain cells go on vacation and I just don't know what to do. So this was a problem for me. I only had a battery pack and goat cheese with me. Luckily Andy ended up liking the goat cheese, so that could have gone a lot worse. I sell some fruit, jelly and wine to Pierre on day 110, then it's off to Willie's shop to buy a lead bobber and 5 fish stews. I head to Clint's to collect my gold trash can and ask him to upgrade it for the final time, but he isn't there. Yeah, of course he isn't. I literally said this would happen. I knew this was going to happen. So we failed our goal to fully upgrade all of our tools. Thank you so much for that, Clint. You are a star. As if things couldn't get any worse, it is now time for me to do something I have been avoiding since the beginning of winter. It is time for us to catch the glacier fish. The fish stew adds a +3 bonus to our fishing skill. Despite that, we failed to catch the glacier fish on our first try. It then completely embarrasses us on our second attempt, and our third attempt, and our fourth, and our fifth. I was legitimately considering giving up at this point and waiting until winter in year 2 to try to catch it again, but I stuck with it. And I'm glad I did, because through some divine intervention, we actually managed to catch it. That took so much out of me that I decided to go home and go straight to bed. I decided to take away my tree farm on day 111. We need space for a new shed and I don't really need any more maple syrup, oak resin or pine tar. I buy 20 kegs from Robin, ask her to build us a shed, collect our gold trash can from Clint and ask him to break open our geodes. It takes some time, but we get the first mineral we need, then the second mineral, then the third and final mineral. I ask Clint to upgrade our trash can for the final time. Technically, we have fully upgraded all of our tools, but the trash can won't be ready to collect until the first day of spring, so I'm gonna say we failed this goal. I donate the 3 minerals to the museum, and that's the end of the day. I'm kinda disappointed we failed probably the easiest of our 3 goals. We were really close. You know, we almost had it, but it is what it is. I made the executive decision to take it really easy on day 112. All I did was collect the jelly and wine that was ready in Grandpa's shed. I felt it was only right that we spend the final day of our first year in Pelican Town at the summit. When I made it to the top of the mountain, Leah was there. I stood beside her, taking in the beautiful view in front of us as the sun set on Stardew Valley. And that is the end of our first year in Stardew Valley Expanded. Let's take a quick look at how we did with our goals. We had 3 of them. The first was to complete the community center. We were able to get this done in the middle of winter. I was hoping we would have been able to do this around the end of fall, but better late than never. You know, we got it done. It is what it is. Our second goal was to earn a total of 1 million gold. We were able to do this, but I'll be honest, the Better Mixed Seeds mod definitely helped us out a bit with this one. Regardless, that's 2 goals completed. The final goal was to upgrade all of our tools to Iridium quality. We were really close to achieving this one, but we failed. I don't even blame Clint for this one though, this one's on me. I should have paid more attention during the last few days. So we completed 2 goals and failed 1 goal, which I'm happy with. It could have been worse, could have been better. Could have been a lot better, but it could have been worse, so I'm happy. As for our second year, I have another 3 goals in mind. Our first goal will be to complete the shipping collection, the second will be to complete the fishing collection, and the third and final goal will be to reach maximum friendship with everybody. There might be somebody watching this video right now that has played through Stardew Valley Expanded, and they might be saying to themselves, yeah, one of those goals is impossible, like you literally cannot complete the fishing collection until year 3 or something like that. And if that's the case, if I have actually set a goal that on a technical level I literally cannot complete during year 2, then I'll burn that bridge when I get to it. And that is officially the end of our first year in Stardew Valley Expanded. I am fully aware of the fact that at the beginning of this segment I said that pretty much word for word, but I think you know by now that I tend to ramble a lot in my videos, I repeat myself a lot. Okay, you know what? I will see you all in spring.